where you're tuning in from. I know the weather is good most places. I've got some hearts coming in. I love that. Michigan,
Lots of Michigan, Florida, Colorado as well.
Toledo, Colorado,
Yes.
Maryland, Missouri, Vermont,
Mm.
Phoenix. I was there. Phoenix is awesome, you guys, but not like
Mhm.
Barbados.
Salta,
Uh, Wichita,
Boston.
Kansas. Wow. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in with us. We're here live. We are live on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Of course, here
Yeah,
as well on Zoom. We really
North Carolina.
appreciate you. This is Sabrina with Spoiled Agent, here hosting with my friend and colleague, Jason Yearwood. Jason is with the Barbados Tourism Marketing. Uh,
Inc.
Now I forgot the I, Incorporate Inc.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was like, what's the I? I know it's BTMI.
So,
Incredible. That's what I would put the I for. Okay. How are you today, Jason?
good, thank you. Good afternoon, Sabrina. Good afternoon to everyone from wherever you are based and wherever you are logging on from. It's a pleasure to be here. Shout out to everyone. I see all the different cities coming through, but I must give a preferred shout out to all my agents in New England. So those of you from Connecticut, from Boston, Rhode Island, etc., big greetings to you all. But of course, we have love for everyone. So big greetings to everybody from across the USA.
Yes, big greetings. And if you snuck in from other countries, we forgive you. We don't blame you because it's Barbados. Of course, you want to be here and hear all about it. Also, I saw our friend Deanne in here saying something about a Mount Gay rum.
Yeah,
Is that
Mount
right?
Gay, yeah, she's ready for her Mount Gay run.
She's ready for her Mount Gay rum. Oh, me too, all of us, except it's only 10 in the morning for me. I'm on the West Coast. So I won't take up too much time. I'll remind everyone we've got our reactions. So when we talk about rum and things we love, we can do the hearts and the claps and the parties and all that fun stuff. It lets of course, our hosts know that we're here and sharing our love. And we want to also talk about the chat. Of course, Natalie's sending us a fun message. We love the chat for that. When you have questions, please help us out and put them in the actual Q&A box because we're going to be sending a report to our friends at Barbados, including, of course, Jason, for their prompt follow-up and attention because we want to make sure if you have a question that you get that follow-up. So we'll do the presentation, and at the end of the presentation, we can let you go. But those of you who'd like to stay, we have a Q&A session. If you stay on until the Q&A session, we do have a prize. Your name goes in a hat. Do you want to say what that is, Jason?
We have a $100 Visa gift card available for today.
Wonderful. Okay, tell us what you would do. I know it'd go for me straight to airfare to Barbados. I mean, there's
Sure.
no other thing I would do with that gift card. And but let us know what would you do with that $100 gift card if you won. Now, if you're tuning in on YouTube, LinkedIn, or Facebook, of course, just share your email with us so we can throw your name in the hat. And without further ado, Jason, we will let you get started.
All right, no problem. Thank you so much, Sabrina, for having Barbados again. Thank you to everyone who has logged on thus far. If you know you have colleagues who are supposed to be logging on, tell them, hey, we're live with Barbados, so get on here, and we look forward to welcoming everyone. So I'm gonna go ahead now and share my screen. Right, here we go. Share the sound. Let's put that here. All right, and we're going to go and put it onto, oh, just give me 1 second. Put it on full slideshow.
There we go.
There we go. All right. So thank you all for joining us today, Barbados. We are so super happy to have you guys join us. And before we get into the content of the presentation, I want to start off today with a video about Barbados so you can see some sights and sounds and some scenes. Okay.
Come from a place, we accept every single race. Paradise is we name. Come over and you will fall in love. I should stay, have a special time of the year where we just get away. Most beautiful display. We'll search a million places, travel a million miles to find a vibe like this and have a time like this. You may have a million problems, need some place to ease your mind. Welcome to my place, oh yeah. With arms wide open.
Barbados is a beautiful island in the Caribbean that represents many things for many people. It is the perfect holiday getaway, a foodie paradise, the birthplace of rum, and the home of Rihanna. Welcome to Barbados.
All right, welcome to Barbados, and we're so glad to have you with us again. Like I said before, my name is Jason Yearwood. I'm one of the business development officers with the Barbados Tourism Office, stationed in New York City. But we are here to ensure you have all information that you need when it comes to travel to Barbados. Now, as we do this presentation today, I want to encourage you to listen through the presentation, watch the presentation, but have this thing in mind that travel at its core is about going someplace you've not been to before and learning about that place, getting outside, experiencing that place. If even you've been there before, it's an opportunity for you to learn more about that destination, to really live and really soak in what it means to be a part of that community. And with Barbados being the focal point for today, I want that you see this presentation with that in view as, Barbados, that place you can really truly feel like a Barbadian for the few days or weeks or months that you may be on the island. All right, so keep that in mind as you listen to our presentation today. It is a very, very important reason, but you should keep that in mind. All right, so now that we've seen a video of Barbados and some footage, we have a Caribbean map here that shows you Barbados, the Caribbean region, and it shows you where Barbados is located in relation to our Caribbean neighbors. So right here where my mouse is, you see the island of Barbados on the far right-hand side. These Arc of Islands right here is called the Volcanic Arc of Islands. Our closest neighbors will be Grenada, St. Vincent, St. Lucia. All right, but Barbados, we are not part of the Caribbean Arc of Islands, or what is called the Volcanic Arc. All of our neighbors, they have volcanoes. Barbados, we sit on the far right-hand side. We are not volcanic, but we are coral limestone. And that's important for a little bit later in our presentation, but it's important for you to know that we are further south in the Eastern Caribbean, and we're the easternmost island in the Caribbean region. All right, so I just gave some explanation and identification that Barbados is the easternmost island in the Caribbean region. A little bit more about everyone's favorite island, Barbados. We have 11 parishes. We are a total landmass of 166 square miles. Our main city is Bridgetown. So following my mouse, Bridgetown is right here with the red square. We have 4 towns in Barbados. So we have Whole Town right here in St. James, Spicetown right here in St. Peter, and Oistins right here in Christchurch. All right. Our airport is Barbados Grantley Adams International Airport, and that is located in a part of Christchurch right here at the bottom. Okay. Our official language is English. However, there is a Bajan dialect. So let's say I saw Natalie mentioning earlier of her connection and lineage and home to Barbados. Natalie is a Bajan. And so let's say Natalie and I were in full conversation, in full swing. All of you may not recognize the words that we're saying because it's Bajan dialect, but it is indeed English. All right. So we're not like our Caribbean neighbors who may have different languages or patois. We have a Bajan dialect, but I assure you, it is all English. All right. Our population is about 270,000 to 300,000. And we have 11 parishes within the island. That's how our island is divided. All right. And then when it comes to currency exchange, $1 is $2 Barbados. So we will get into that a little bit more as well. Okay. Traveling to Barbados, all visitors to Barbados must have a valid passport and a valid return ticket to be allowed into the country. And the passport must be valid for the duration of your stay. For airlift, Barbados, we enjoy direct, that's right, direct airlift from many ports across the eastern US border directly to Barbados. So here is an image that shows you some of those carriers who service the island. So from JFK, right here in New York, that's one of our, if not the busiest hub for us. We have direct flights on JetBlue. Last year, we also welcomed direct flights from JFK on American Airlines, who go down daily. JetBlue goes down daily. They have multiple flights a day, actually. And then Delta, they also had a flight seasonally, once a week from JFK. So currently right now, we have JetBlue and American Airlines going from New York. For all my folks in New England, Boston Logan gets your attention. We have a direct flight on JetBlue from Boston Logan to Barbados. We have direct flights from Newark Liberty in New Jersey, as well as Dallas in Washington, in DC. United also serving Barbados as well. And then we have direct flights from Charlotte Douglas and Miami International. And we must update this graphic to indicate that we do have direct flights from Atlanta, Georgia on Delta. They go daily to Barbados as well. I saw a few persons signing representing Atlanta. Shout out to you guys and congratulations for having a Barbados rep station in Atlanta as well. Recently came on board, and I will share some more information on that as well. But you have direct flights and direct access to Barbados in terms of the team who is there to serve you. So shout out to all my folks in Atlanta, okay? Here we have information of the new airlift developments that came on last year that, still are in service, for this year, which I mentioned to you. All right, so we have American Airlines going from JFK. We have American Airlines also going from Philadelphia. So shout out to all my folks in the city of brotherly love. And we also have Delta, like I said, going from Atlanta and from New York too. Now, a bit about cruising. Barbados, we are a major home porting hub. There are more cruise ships choosing to begin and end their voyages at the port of Bridgetown right there in Barbados. We are the largest home port destination in the Southern Caribbean, and all major cruise lines service Barbados when it comes to Barbados being on the itinerary. So here's an example of different cruise lines that calls to Barbados over the last few years, and we continue to enjoy and create relationships with all of them from across the world. When it comes to North America, these are the cruise lines that home port in Barbados. So when Star Cruises, Star Clipper, Silver Seas, CG Yacht Club, Ritz-Carlton Yacht Company, all these North American lines home port in Barbados. So you can begin or finish your cruising voyage in Barbados. That gives you the opportunity to enjoy the best of both worlds. Many times I meet with travel agents, with clients who say, hey, I've been to Barbados, had a wonderful time, been on a cruise, but it wasn't enough time to really enjoy the island. Well, seeing that you have home porting lines, but lines at home port in Barbados, you can now fly in, spend a day or two prior to your cruise, on the island, get outside, enjoy what the island has to offer, and then commence your cruise. Or you finish your cruise in Barbados, you can put a couple days on your back end, and then spend some time on the island, and then fly out. So when we look at the different North American carriers that service Barbados direct, and the fact that from a cruising perspective, we are a popular home porting destination, it gives you the opportunity to, do what we call a cruise and stay program, pre and post cruise. All right, so you can enjoy that. You can enjoy land activity and also cruising activity all in one trip, easy to go. All right, so that's something that you can enjoy if you and your clients really enjoy cruising. A little bit here about destination management companies. These are important when it comes to all types of travelers, but for group travel, family travel, couples, anyone, these companies do a fantastic job when it comes to the experience of, activity in Barbados, and not just the different tourism activities, but also services as well. So let's say you have a group coming to Barbados, you need transportation, you need accommodation, you need activities all planned out. These DMCs can do all that groundwork for you. They can do meet and greet at the airport, transportation from airport to hotel, and from hotel to different activities when needed. They can, plan your trips for you in terms of the different tours and itineraries you want to build. They could build unique activities for you as well. So not just the mainstream activities, but different things. Yeah, they all do a fantastic job. Many of you may have heard this example before, but I'll give it to you again anyways. All right. So the year was 2019. I was based in Toronto, Canada, doing the same thing. I was in Canada for 6 years. So if anyone on the call is in Toronto, shout out to you. That's my city. And I was there, I was working, and got a phone call. My grandmother was ill and she passed away unexpectedly. So I had to rush home from Canada. My wife and I, we rushed back to Barbados. Got there, dealing with the family, etc. And then it hit me, hey, your first wedding anniversary is next week and you have nothing planned. I mean, yes, we understand that it was a very trying time, but you need to have something in place for you and your lovely wife to enjoy. And so I called one of the DMCs, Blue Isles, third from the top. I say, hey guys, I had a rush home. My anniversary is next week. No plans in place. Is there something that you can help me out with? They said, sure, Jason, no problem. We'll hook you up. I got a call a few days before our anniversary. They said, show up at this location at this time. We have everything covered. When I got the address, it was the address for one of the condominiums in Barbados, Sapphire Beach Club, right there in St. Lawrence Gap, if any of you are familiar with it. And we got there, we went into one of the condominium villas there. And when we walked in, we had a setup for dinner, oceanfront right there on the balcony. We had saxophonist, we had chef, we had a three-course meal right there all prepared. And what made it even more meaningful was that the chefs who were preparing the meal for that evening and were there till wine and diners were the same chefs who did our wedding a year prior. So that really took it over the top for us. And we were truly, truly wonderful. And that happened in 2019. So you can tell that all this time, and I can still recall everything, detail by detail. It shows that it really made an indelible impact on me and on us. So that's some of the things that these destination management companies can do for you. So again, not just planning mainstream tours and so forth, but they can do unique experiences, mixology classes, chocolate making classes, pottery, unique dining experiences, all these things they can do. All right. And lastly, what I would say about these companies too, do not, as you would say, sneeze or snooze on the services that they have available as well, especially the meet and greet. At any given time, especially during peak season, peak tourism season, you can have all the major carriers from across the world descending in Barbados at the same time. So I'm talking British Airways, I'm talking Virgin Atlantic, I'm speaking American Airlines, Delta, for those coming from Toronto, I'm speaking Air Canada, the Caribbean market, all of the airlines that service, from the Caribbean to Barbados, Latin America, they can all descend upon Barbados between that 12 noon and that 4 p.m. window. What does that mean? Immigration lines can be long, sneaking, and as much as we put processes in place and systems in place for a seamless experience, the more people that descend at the same time, lines will be long. But let's say you have expedited entry through one of these DMCs or fast track. When you or your clients get off the plane, you get to the doors of the arrival hall. You will see a representative there with your name. All right, so someone's there for sign, Jason Hewitt. I walk to them. They escort me through customs and immigration straight to the desk with the customs officer, get my passport stamp, whisked off right then to the baggage claim. Once bags come on, I get my bag and I'm out of there. All right, so and I have experienced this many, many times. Times I go home for vacation or go home for work and I go to the different line and I can see the eyes watching me like, how are you getting through this quickly? What did you do? So please keep that in mind for yourselves and for your guests. Ask these companies about fast track and expedited services that are available through the airport. Okay, accommodation, lots of accommodations in Barbados, but I want to start with giving you some information on accommodations that are coming up, opening this year, and those that will be opening in the very, very near future. And you will see this graphic coming to your email box sometime today if it hasn't come already, because today was our turn for our Spoiled Agent e-blast. So Barbados, we are adding 1,600 rooms by 2028. First up, we have Blue Monkey Hotel, which opened up in March. So it has 28 1 and 2 bedroom suites, a beach club and a bar. Hotel Indigo, they're opening this month, July, part of the Intercontinental Hotel Group, boutique style property, 132 rooms, rooftop bar, on-site restaurant, and a fitness center. But then there's more. Royalton Chic, they're coming to Barbados. Panji Barbados is also coming as well. Hyatt Ziva is on the list. Beaches Barbados under the Sandals brand, 600 room Main Street Resort. It's going to be one that you do not want to miss. Dining, shopping, family activity, outdoor performance stages, arcades, bars. Very, very wonderful for families to look forward to. And then Marriott International, they're in the process of completing their renovations to all 7 hotels that they have in Barbados, 6 of which will be all inclusive. All right. And we have 4 of them will be a part of the autograph collection, 2 will be a part of the tribute portfolio, and 1 will be a part of the luxury collection. So keep this in mind. Barbados, we are diversifying our accommodation sector to provide more options for you and your clients to enjoy whilst on the island. All right. So speaking about these new properties, a quick recap of what already is existing in Barbados. So we have something for everyone. As one of my former colleagues in Canada used to say, Barbados has something for everyone. $100 a night to $100 per minute, and everything in between. That was his jovial way of saying there's something for everyone in Barbados. So we have the villas, great for groups, great for families, great for the luxury clientele. And even though we have villas, don't let the word villa scare you. We have villas that have all of the bells and whistles, but we also have those villas that are wonderful standalone homes that are, affordable as well. So there's something for everyone when it comes to the villa product. We have luxury, Sandy Lane, our most luxurious and exclusive hotel, Fairmont Royal Pavilion, O2 Beach Club and Spa, and these are hotels are also virtuoso, so keep that in mind. The host under the Marriott International, that now will be an all-inclusive resort, adult only, something there for everyone to really, really enjoy. All-inclusive. We mentioned a few all-inclusives that are coming to the island, but there are those that are already there. 2 Sandals hotels, Treasure Beach, Sea Breeze, Tamarind, Crystal Cove, Turtle Beach, all of them are the Marriott International properties, 6 all-inclusive under that brand. The Sands, Sea Breeze Beach House under the Ocean Hotels Barbados Group. O2 Beach Club and Spa. There are all-inclusives in Barbados and that they do a fantastic job. So you want to keep that in mind. Mid-range hotels, something there for those persons as well. South Gap, Southern Palm, South Beach, Little Good Harbor. Very, very great options to choose from when it comes to the mid-range hotels. And the intimate, smaller hotels, here is something for you too. There is an organization called the Intimate Hotels of Barbados, and they represent the interests of over 30 or 40 small accommodations in Barbados. All right. And these range from guest houses to apartments to small hotels, etc. And they do a fantastic job. And I must say, I want to let you know that if even you or your clients are staying in a small accommodation, an intimate hotel, it doesn't mean that you are away from the action at all. So let's think about St. Lawrence Gap, for example. That's where O2 is, the Sandals Hotels, Turtle Beach, bigger hotels, but that's location for South Gap as well. Southern Palms, that's the location for Infinity on the Beach. That's the location for the Ross Travel. So you're all in the same area, exposed to the same offerings, all for the same great time that Barbados has to offer you. All right. So, and these are not just great for accommodations, but also for events. So Sweetfield Manor, 5th from the top. That's where my wife and I got married. Beautiful spot. No more than 3 rooms for accommodation. A beautiful restaurant called Povo, named after the peacock population that is right there at Sweetfield Manor. And Sweetfield Manor has the largest peacock population in the Caribbean. It looks over Bridgetown as well, so great for health and wellness, great for some yoga retreats, great for just getting away from your hustle and bustle and enjoying nature, enjoying some fresh air, having some time with yourself with some mindfulness is a wonderful, wonderful property and wonderful space to host events and that kind of thing too. So keep that all in mind, okay? Now, at the beginning of the presentation, I reminded you that travel at its core is about going someplace you have not known before, learn about that place, or if you've been to that place before, you continue to learn about that place. Long story short, we want that when you come to Barbados, you get out and enjoy the destination. We want that you fulfill what it really means to travel someplace that is not your home, all right? And to satisfy that, we're going to run through some offerings that we have spanning different categories. So right off the bat, culinary offerings, lots of great places to eat in Barbados, a good adventure, a great experience or a new adventure always starts with a good meal. And Barbadians, we love to eat and we love to help people eat. And there's lots of options to choose from right there in Barbados. So fine dining restaurants, Quattro Passi at the Clappers, one opened up recently called Uva, run by a Barbados chef, one of our top chefs in Barbados, Uva Barbados, Mediterranean cuisine, but everything is just elevated. Beautiful, beautiful options. I remind you again, earlier we spoke about the currency exchange and the rates. So Barbados is one US is two Barbados, okay? So people may see fine dining and think, gosh, this place is going to be so expensive. But you, as an American traveler, you have spending power, all right? So I can go at Champers, for example. They have menus that are what we call table d'hôte or prefix. You know what I'm talking about. You get a three-course meals, you get options. Last time I checked, their three-course prefix menu was like $109 Barbados. Let's say one-time Barbados. You do the conversion to US, that's $55 US. Now I don't know about you. I live in New York City. There's no way that I can pay 55 US dollars to get a three-course meal, fine dining experience, oceanfront at one of the top places to eat in Barbados. Yeah. So I'm telling you, it is not expensive to eat. You can, really get bang for your buck and really have wonderful experiences right there in Barbados when it comes to dining on the island. Excuse me. You want something, excuse me again. You want something beach, on the beachfront, on the beach, Tiki Barbados, Cherry Beach, La Plage, Roundhouse, they all offer wonderful experiences right there for beach restaurants. Seaside Barbados as well. Street food, you cannot forget the street food. It's a foodie's paradise in Barbados. So, Worthing Square Food Court, Martins Bay. Again, my favorite, Oystins. Remember, I mentioned that Oystins is one of 4 towns in Barbados in the south. It's a fishing village, right? So during the day, you get your fish vendors. They are, cleaning the catch, selling the catch, whatnot. But every Friday, every Saturday is the Oystins fish fry. So once the work week ends, it's a big fish fry right there in Oystins. You can go get, as local food as you want: breadfruit, sweet potato, rice, macaroni pie, all kinds of fish. I mean, it's really, really delightful and delectable. So you don't want to miss that at all. And here are some examples of Bajan street food. Shout out to my wife, Jaquita, for taking these pictures on one of our trips a couple of years back. I was a little perturbed because I wanted to eat, but she was like, hey, I want to take some pictures of the food. And woe is me, no, I'm using the same pictures in my presentation, but she is such a darling. So shout out to her for sharing these pictures with me. And here are some examples of Bajan street food. Casper's Beachside for the fish cakes. Second from the left at the top, we have Paradise Pizza, barbecue turkey wings, 2 sides and a salad. At the bottom, we get barbecue barn chefette, half chicken with potato, coleslaw. You get Oystins fish fry. We just spoke about Oystins, the fish, the plantain, the breadfruit chips, just grilling, fish platter, one side, one salad. Can I tell you that these items right in Barbados will cost you between 15 US and 30 US for these items. 15 US and 30 US. Now, again, I live in New York City. I go to work in Manhattan. I repeat, there's no way that I am paying 30 US for some of the food that's shown here. I'll be paying much more than that. All right. But in Barbados, you have the opportunity to not break the bank, but still enjoy some of the wonderful local food that is available on the island. So we look forward to sharing this with you and invite you to come on down and enjoy the lovely food that is available in Barbados. All right, we spoke about culinary. Now we have adventure. Again, we want persons to get out and enjoy the destination. So we have, for adventure now, we have those who want to be outside. We have Harrison's Cave. Remember I said at Barbados, we're not part of the volcanic Orca Islands. We are coral limestone. And because we're coral limestone, through wave action, we have a lot of caves on the island. And right in the heart of Barbados, a parish called St. Thomas, we have Harrison's Cave. You can go in on the tram right here as it's pictured. You have your tour guide, your driver. They take you in and you view 1 mile of the cave, these stalactites and stalagmites. It's very, very beautiful. For Barbadians, we call it the 8th wonder of the world because you see the water is so pure, so fresh There's an area that the water is so clear. It's called Mirror Lake because if you look over it, you will see your reflection coming right back at you. It is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful experience. So much to see and do there. But over the years, they've expanded activities outside of the cave to make the experience a full adventurous experience. So now you have zip lines, suspended walkways, a dry slide, a challenge course, the bird aviary. If you and your clients really enjoy adventure, Harrison's Cave is a place to go to. In fact, there's even a tour at Harrison's Cave where you can put on your hard hat, the flashlight, your elbow pads, your knee pads, and you can crawl through the cave just like the first explorers did. No, that's not for me. I would just sit on the tram and enjoy a guided tour. But if you and your clients are hardcore adventurers, that's something that you can do as well. I really, really enjoy Barbados in a different light and in a different way. Other activities that are great for adventure, we have the Island Safari Land and Sea Tours, we have Off-Road Fury, we have the Animal Flora Cave. The activities are endless that you can enjoy. For those who love the water, you are not forgotten. We have the Atlantis submarines, we have catamaran cruises, cool runnings, Tiami, and seeing Barbados, Sea Juice Luxury Catamaran. We have water sport activities. There's also different beach clubs that you can just spend the entire day at the beach, like the Boatyard, Copacabana, La Cabana. You can just sit down, go to the beach, you get your food. The entry that you pay would be redeemed in some of the food that you get as well. So again, you're not breaking the bank. There's so much things you can really enjoy. Then there's Roscoe's Barbados Water Park. To me, it's like American Ninja Warrior, but on the sea. So you get your obstacle courses, and it'd be great fun for groups and families and friends, So something there for everyone to really enjoy. Then for those who love nature in the sense of flora and fauna, you're not forgotten either. Andromeda Botanical Gardens, Walker's Reserve, Barbados Wildlife Reserve, Cocoa Hills Forest, Orchid World. There's something for you to explore and to learn and to embrace and to enjoy in Barbados in that lake. Remember, Barbados's name comes from nature, from a tree, the bearded fig tree, which the Portuguese got our name from because they said that the tree, which was, so many of them across the island, that they were seeing them every which way that they turned in 1625. They said that the tree, because of its huge branches and these long brown stalks that hang down, the Portuguese said that it reminded them of a man with a long beard. So the tree then was called the bearded fig tree, and you got Lost Barbados, which means the bearded one. And that's where Barbados got its name from. But the English came back in 1627, then they called it Barbados. So by nature, by name, Barbados is a natural paradise, and you wouldn't want to miss out on an opportunity to view Barbados in that light. For those who love rum, we spoke about the food before, can't forget the rum. Someone mentioned before about Montgay rum. Well, there's so much rum for you to really embrace in Barbados. And why is the rum important? Barbados was the birthplace of rum. Now, everybody says that their island was the first one to start the rum. Barbados, we were really, really the first. Historians have came and they have confirmed that the label on the Montgay rum bottle is actually a replica of the deed, which shows that Barbados has the oldest pothouse in the world at that time, 1703. In fact, historians believe that it is much older than 1703, but they just haven't found a deed to confirm their beliefs. But they found one for 1703. So you could do beautiful rum tours, Montgay Rum Distillery. They have different tours available now. You can do a tour of the actual distillery. You can do a tour at their visitor center right there off Spring Garden in Bridgetown, or you can do a tour at Harrison's Cave. So you can do Harrison's Cave. They have a Montgay tasting session at the cave itself. So if you do a Harrison's Cave tour, you can do 2 tours in one, in terms of the cave tour and then the Montgay tour in one location right there at Harrison's Cave in St. Thomas. Okay. Outside of Montgay, there are other distilleries too who do a fantastic job. We have the West Indies Rum Distillery, 1893, right there along Brighton Beach. And their pot stills and all the equipment that they use is all the original equipment when the factory was opened in 1893. They got all of them fixed, and they have all the initial equipment that was there centuries ago. They still use them up to this day. They also have a visitor center whereby you can go in and do tours and really learn more about plantation, rum states, rum, different things that they do. And they also do a lot of experimenting with their rum. They have rum experimenting with Moby. That's a popular beverage in Barbados, and they have a rum based or a Moby based, I don't know, yeah, a Moby based rum, right? And then you also have some instances where they put a little bit of seawater in some of their blends just to see what it would taste like because they're around the beach. So, they put some seawater in some of their blends to see how that works. So again, all is rum, but everyone does things differently. Then you have St. Nicholas Abbey right there in the north of the island, third oldest Jacobean styled home in the northern hemisphere, sorry, in the western hemisphere. And right there at the Abbey, outside of the history of the plantation house and the great house, they also produce their own rum. But their rum is made from sugarcane juice. If you go to Barbados between January and April, and you go to the Abbey, you can see them, extracting the sugarcane juice from the sugarcane right there and then live and direct. All right, so there's lots to really unpack there. And the Abbey, they also have a train that you can hop onto the train. Barbados had a train service years ago, many moons ago. They had a train service, so they have um, refurbish some of the tracks around the plantation, and you could do a train tour around St. Nicholas Abbey, learning more about the plantation, the space, the great house, all of that. And of course, you can sample on some right after. And then we can't forget Foursquare Rum Distillery right there in St. Philip. They have been awarded the world's best rum for a number of years. 2024 was the last I checked that they have been awarded the world's best rum. They do a fantastic job as well right there at Foursquare. So if you are into rum, here are some options that you can do. Rum tours everywhere, all right? And don't forget the rum shops as well, right? So many rum shops to choose from. There's a rum shop on every corner, every neighborhood, and that's a place where you can get some more rum, but also be connected to the Bajan community right there in Barbados. History and heritage, we spoke about rum, and I shared with you some of the history of rum and the heritage of rum in Barbados, but on a bigger scale, there's lots of great history to really unpack right there in Barbados. Again, we are showcasing to you the different things that you can do to really, fulfill the definition of travel and tourism as a traveler. So we spoke about culinary, we spoke about adventure, we spoken about rum. Now we're speaking about history and the history that Barbados has. So Bridgetown is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. That is our capital city, and it's called UNESCO Historic Bridgetown and the Garrison. And there's so much to unpack right there in Bridgetown. So we have the George Washington House. Why is there a place in Barbados called the George Washington House? Well, many moons ago, before George became who he became, his brother was ill with tuberculosis, and it was suggested to them that they go to a place where his brother can recuperate. Some place warm, some place with good weather that he can recuperate. And they came to Barbados, and the house you see on your screen is where they stayed. And that house is owned now by the Barbados National Trust, and they keep it in its original format, in its original look, that people can come and tour and see where George stayed, right there at the historic garrison. Then below that, you have the garrison tunnels. Now, the garrison was the army barracks for the British. That's where they set up shop. Barbados, we were a colony of Britain for many centuries. And we do have a lot of things that are off the British style of living, if you will. So our education system, the set of the road that we drive on, different things are off the British style. But we are a fully independent nation. We have our own president, etc. We are also a republic. But having said that, there's still the historic evidence of the British, being in Barbados and Barbados being a colony of the British. And we were very, very valuable to the British back then. Because of the different level of exports and the economic benefit that we gave to the British. So because of this, the British had their military in Barbados, right there at the garrison, but they built tunnels underground that were only discovered a few years ago, maybe a decade and a half ago or so. And these tunnels they would have dug that in the event of the island being invaded or the British being at war with other colonizers, like the Dutch, the French, and if they weren't willing that the British could escape, through the ground tunnels. The tunnels run from the army barracks right down to Drill Hall Beach, where they could have escaped by boat. All right. So these tunnels, you can go and visit them as well, right there in Barbados. Moving away from colonial times, we're looking now at our African history. We have the Golden Square Freedom Park, opened in November of 2021 in the heart of Bridgetown. This Freedom Park recognizes the Barbadians who built Barbados. And one of the key features is Builder's Wall, where we see the name of persons who helped to build Barbados, right? 600 years of history is captured right there on Builder's Wall. And many Barbadians have gone to see the names of those who've gone before us, many of them obviously from Africa, and see the African names. But then you also see like our name, like our present day names, linked to those names who've gone before. So you will see your name then, in African or in, some kind of other spellings that, well, like this is my heritage, So here is something that people really, really want to experience and to see and to really, take a moment to reflect on. And this is all possible because Barbados, we have the largest records of censuses and documents and research in the entire Caribbean. If we think about it, Barbados, because of our location, would have been the first stop on the Atlantic slave trade. Because if you go to the east of Barbados on the Atlantic Ocean, there's nothing to the east of us outside of the Canary Islands and Africa. So after a while, you would get out there. So being the first stop on that middle passage, a lot of records would have been taken, and then other persons would have been sent to other islands. But everyone essentially came through Barbados. Yeah. So because of those records, we can have information to put onto the builder's wall of those persons who lived in Barbados for so many centuries, those persons who, helped Barbados to be what it is today, even though they have long since gone. There's something, that Barbadians today can look back at and really connect with. Yeah. And then, of course, we have Her Excellency, the Right Honorable Robin Rihanna Fenty. You're probably wondering why you have all of those distinctions before her name. That's because Her Excellency is now a national hero of Barbados, becoming the 11th national hero of Barbados and the second female to be on that list, joining Her Excellency Sarah Ann Gill. So Rihanna is also a national hero. So that's more of our history right there. And right there in Bridgetown, we have Heroes Square. So you have Golden Square Freedom Park, but you also have Heroes Square, where you can go and learn more about national heroes, 11 of them, who have built Barbados through their global exploits. Then right there in Bridgetown as well, we have the Parliament buildings, third oldest Parliament building in the Western Hemisphere in the Commonwealth. We have a Parliament museum that is there as well, too, that persons can learn more about our Parliament and the history behind the Parliament of Barbados. Then we have a Jewish synagogue as well in Barbados. I think this synagogue was originally built in the 1800s, if not 1700s. The original synagogue was destroyed by hurricane, and then there was a fire at one point in time, I believe. But they also have a beautiful museum there as well, and it's right there in Bridgetown. Then, of course, the Barbados Museum that touches on Barbados before the Africans came, before the Europeans came. This is Barbados when the Amerindians were there, and we have lots of great historic artifacts that persons can see of Barbados way back then. So a bit about romance quickly before I come to a close. Barbados, we are a fantastic destination for destination weddings and honeymoons. What better place to start your honeymoon off than Barbados, where you can do so many immersive activities together and really, really have an active honeymoon. But if you just want to just chill, relax, do nothing, but just enjoy each other's time, on your hotel, Barbados too, we also present a great opportunity. Yeah, but if you want to get married in Barbados, there's no wait period to get married in Barbados. Just ensure you have your valid passport, your birth certificate, and you can go to the Ministry of Home Affairs and apply for your marriage license. And we can provide you with any other information that you will need to bring. All right. So If you like to cruise and you want to get married to your loved one, you can cruise into Barbados, hop off your cruise, go to the Ministry of Home Affairs, get your marriage license, get married, hop back on the cruise, and you're on your way. All right. There's no wait period to get married in Barbados. So you can say, I do quick and fast in Barbados. Events and festivals, something is always happening in Barbados. Throughout the entire year, we have different things happening, but our biggest festival is the Cup Over Festival, the sweetest summer festival, and that's on right now. In fact, that will be culminating in another week or two, but officially commencing in July 1st, but really commencing in June. It's really three long a 3 month long festival, sorry, where you celebrate Barbadian music, arts, food, culture, and so much more. It climaxes with a grand carnival parade, Kaduma Day, on the first Monday in August. So that's why I said in about 2 weeks or so, it will be culminating. And the best time to travel to Barbados for a Cup Over is the last week of July, where you get all the activities, the parties, the festivals, everything culminating on that festival weekend. So from the Friday right down to the Monday, you get music contests, you get 4-day morning jam, big concert on the Sunday, then you get Grand Kaduma on the Monday as well. All right. And then you also have sporting festivals too. So our festivals are not just for music, but cover sports. So we see here a calendar of events of different things happening throughout the entire year. So regardless to what time you travel to Barbados, there's something happening that you can really, really soak in from a cultural perspective and learn more about Barbados and enjoy about Barbados. So horse racing, Hoton Festival, Reggae Fest, you got some rallying there as well. You have your food and rum, you have Rum Barbados, cricket, crop over. The list continues to go on and on and on of things you can enjoy. This year, there's a focus on regathering. It's like a big national family reunion. So every month we have different parishes in Barbados coming to the fore where they will, showcase what makes their parish unique. So even though we're a small island and we're all family, every parish has its own way of doing things, its own way of life. So we're celebrating each parish this year. Then in December, it will be a nationwide celebration celebrating the entire island of Barbados. So if you're going down this year or have clients going down, tell them to check out the activities happening for the gathering. It allows for great community tourism and great cultural and lifestyle experience in Barbados. All right. Before we end, information on our Barbados Elite Club program. I encourage you, if you haven't already signed up, to sign up for the Barbados Elite Club program. Learn more about Barbados on your own time. And then as you get bookings, log your bookings and reap the rewards that can come with logging bookings to Barbados. All right. Okay, so again, my name is Jason Yearwood, one of the business development officers for Barbados. I'm stationed in New York. I cover New England, but I'm your Barbados person. Thank you to all of you for joining me today. And thank you to Sabrina and the Spoiled Agent team for making this opportunity possible for Barbados. Sabrina, back over to you.
Uh-oh, my video doesn't want to come on. Wow. It's amazing. So many things. And now I'm so hungry and it's all your fault. You warned us, right?
I did.
And your wife does take amazing photos. I love it. So, agents, I'm just dropping in Jason's contact information so that you have it all. And I've got that going into Facebook right as we speak. I've also got the Spoiled Agent page, the Barbados page for Spoiled Agent in the chat box, as well as Jason's email if you'd like to copy paste that. But you'll find all that info as well on the Spoiled Agent page. So we really appreciate everyone coming. We are going to go quickly to the Q&A just to be able to answer any questions that came in. If you have to run and you're busy and you're going to be calling your agents about Barbados, we forgive you. I mean, your clients. We forgive you, right, Jason?
That's all right. No,
And
that's
that's
no problem at
okay.
all.
No problem. We're good with that. So if you'd like to stay on with us and just listen to the questions and learn some more things from your fellow agents, we're going to go through those right now. Again, if you need to run, we understand, and please feel free. If you're worried about the prize qualification, don't worry. You're already qualified and you don't need to ask a question for that. So I'll get started with a question from Anne. What is the specifics about getting married in Barbados? I think you actually covered that.
Yeah, so you have to have your birth certificate, your passport, If you were married before but you were divorced, you have to have that documentation as well. Um, that is what I can recall off my head, but I can send you that in an email as well. If you email me and you want that information, I can send you that information as well to contact for the Ministry of Home Affairs as well. That's the ministry that deals with the marriage license in Barbados.
Okay. And then I've also got a question about the video. They said, can we get a copy of the video for marketing? I know we've
Yeah,
got one on the Spoiled Agent page. That's a 55-second one. I think it's a little bit different.
yeah, this one is a minute and some. That is quite fine. You can shoot me an email. I can send it over to you. That's no
Okay,
problem.
perfect. There you go. Are we ever going from Nashville BNA direct? I always go through CLT or Miami. What's
Yeah,
CLT? Cleveland.
I think CLT is Charlotte. If
Charlotte. Thank
I
you.
think so. I'm not sure. Of course, all having direct flights always comes down to the business that's generated. So, one can say that the ball is in your court in that regard when it comes to getting Barbados' name out there and getting more people interested from the Nashville area to Barbados. That we tell the airlines, listen, we have so many people in Nashville who want to go to Barbados. Put on a direct flight, and then they may listen to you. But we used to have flights from Dallas that persons could take advantage of. That flight isn't on right now, so Charlotte or Miami would be the destinations, the airport, sorry, to go through. But as we build up more business, we get more business coming from Nashville. We never know. We can get a direct flight coming on from there.
That's right. Okay. And then in regards to cruising, they
Mhm.
said, sorry, you were talking about cruising at that point. Get on Bimini and get off in Puerto Rico, or can you start in Bimini and get off in Miami or somewhere else? I think
Mhm. No,
I'm
I
not
was
sure of the exact question, but maybe you understand.
Yeah, I was just making the point that for Barbados, you can begin and finish your voyages in Barbados. So perhaps you want to fly into Barbados and then you hop on your your cruise from Barbados, and then you finish your cruise in Barbados, and then you can fly out. So I know that Puerto Rico are places that people go to start their voyages. So too is the Bahamas. You mentioned Bimini. So too is the Bahamas, but Barbados, you can also put us on that list as a place where you can go and commence a voyage and sail from there. Enjoy the Southern Caribbean cruises as well.
Oh, wow. Okay, sign me up. Is there an expected opening date for beaches in Barbados?
No concrete date as yet. I can say that ground has been broken, so construction has commenced. Everyone is estimating by not this winter, probably next winter. But we'll stay tuned for the dates as they come down. But ground for sure has been broken.
Okay, perfect. And how much is the fast track? Is there a discount?
Depending on who you go with, you get travel agent discount. Um, so you can reach out to any of the suppliers that I had listed on the presentation. I wouldn't know of their immediate prices, but I think one of them is like 60 Barbados, so like 30 US. So you can consider that as well.
Okay. And as a travel agent, is it easier to book with one of the destination management companies?
Yeah, you can book with them. I know Blue Isles, for example, they also have commission for travel agents as well, so you can earn from bookings on behalf of your clients. So that's no problem at all. And they all of them work very well with travel agents too. So the relationships there are good.
Okay. And then do you have contact information about those DMCs?
Yeah, you could write me an email. I can share that contact information.
Okay, because someone's asking if they can book through the IntelliTravel back office or a different entity. I guess that would depend on
It
what
depends. It
on
depends. Yeah.
IntelliTravel. Yeah, I would check with my
Mhm.
colleagues how there's a lot of great Facebook groups too that you can check into
Yeah.
those things and ask your colleagues how they're doing it, right?
Correct. MCs too.
Sometimes, yeah.
Are part of a lot of the tour operator packages available as well. So like Vacation Express or whomever, Apple Leisure Vacations, whomever you want to go through. But there's also the opportunity to book direct, which makes things a bit easier too. So if you need information to book directly, I can provide that information as well.
Okay, great. And do you know of any villas to rent that also have access to a resort?
Attached to a resort, I would need some clarity on that question.
So
Can
like sometimes there's a villa that might be part of a resort
Mhm.
location so that they're right next to it. So they get with the resort, with the villa, they
Okay.
get access to go to the property and enjoy the facilities, let's say.
Yeah, so Sandy Lane for sure. I know the Crane, they recently built some villas as well. It's not on the same property as the Crane, but it's not far from there too. You could have a villa at the Crane, but still have um, access to the main property as well. You can get your breakfast, etc. So yes, to that question, yes, but it depends on who you go with.
Okay, makes sense. And how about having a copy of this actual PowerPoint presentation? Is that something you can share if they email you?
Sure.
Okay.
Mhm.
And can you talk about the currency? Can we use the US dollar or should we convert?
Yeah, you can use the US dollar on the street. The only thing is that if you need to get back change, it will be given to you in Barbados currency, as it's against our laws to give back, foreign exchange as change. No, I will admit people do what they want. So let's say you came to me, I'm a vendor, I'm selling snow cones, for example, and you give me $10 US. I may give you a mixture of change in Barbados and US, depending on what I have in my bag or in my pocket at that point in time. So I'm not saying that these things are absolute, but just be cognizant that by law, you should be getting back change in Barbados currency. And on the street, everyone knows is one US is two Barbados. If you go to let's say Chefette restaurant or perhaps one of the gas stations, they may take your US at 1.98, 1.95, depending on what the market is on that day. But for the most part, everyone knows it's 2 to 1.
Okay, perfect. And I saw someone ask, sorry, in the chat box to please send the presentation. The chat box is buried. It is longer than the beaches in Barbados. Well, maybe, okay, maybe that's an exaggeration, but the chat box ends up being like a 20,000 pages of wonderful comments. So it's impossible for us, until we can figure out an AI extraction tool, we can't see your requests in the chat box, if that makes sense. I'm sorry about that. So what I'm doing is just sharing once again Jason's contact info. So if you have a request, then he can receive it directly in his inbox. If you, for example, want that presentation, just send him an email and there it is. Okay, is Barbados a rainy destination or is there just a rainy season? How
Yeah,
does
so
that work? And when is hurricane season? Maybe you can add that together.
yes, so we have a rainy season, hurricane season. Rainy season is all the same thing for us.
Mm-hmm.
Hurricane season runs from June 1st until November 30th, just like the other Caribbean islands. Now, Barbados, we sit on the far right-hand side of the Caribbean Arca Islands, as you know. And because of our positioning, we sit outside the hurricane belt. So we aren't much affected by hurricanes. However, hurricanes do pass us, systems do pass us, and we were hit by a hurricane in 1959, Hurricane Jeanette, which caused widespread devastation. We have been affected by more recent storms like Thomas in 2011, and another one hits me right now, but that was 2020, I believe it was 2021. So there are instances that we can be affected, but we have been affected by a major hurricane. So we continue to trust God that we be good. But we sit outside of the hurricane belt.
Perfect. I love it. Someone says, I'm trying to book Sea Breeze for next year. Do they offer rooms with double beds? On one website says yes, on the other says only king. Do you know?
I believe that they offer double beds, but what I can do to be more accurate, you can write to me. Seabreeze does have US representation here, so I can connect you with their team that they can give you more appropriate answer.
Okay. And what is the best time to visit?
I always tell persons the best time to visit is anytime during the year, but it all comes down to personal preference. I know some persons want to avoid the hurricane season, so they would travel more December to May window. Others who may not be as perturbed by the hurricane season and who may love to come for cupover and stuff, they would travel in that June to November window for cupover or for the fact that prices are way cheaper compared to the December to April window. So it all comes down to your preference. If you are looking for a height of activity, December to April will always bring that height of activity. That's peak season. So a lot of activity happening on hotels around the island, etc. June to November, obviously you have couple over there, but then things are a bit quieter because that's not peak season for us. Prices will be less also, so that may be attractive to you too.
Okay. Now back to getting married. How long do you have to be in the island? Apologies if this was covered. On the
That's fine.
island, rather.
There's no wait period, so you don't
That's
have to
right.
be
You
there
said it's so
for
easy. Yeah.
yeah, you don't have to be there for a day, 2 days, nothing like that. So as soon as you come into Barbados, you have your documents all together. You can go straight to the Ministry of Home Affairs, present your documents, get your marriage license, and you're good to go.
Okay, thanks. And someone else, Lillian, hi Lillian, says, wish there were more direct flights from Chicago. Is this on the radar for the near future?
Possibly, Chicago is an area of interest for us. We continue to do some more work there to build up the demand. But yes, that is on our radar. Don't know when exactly it'll come, but for sure we want to, expand our business from Chicago. I was actually in Chicago once on assignment, to share more about Barbados as well. So yes,
Hopefully soon. Okay, fingers crossed. Keep on it, everyone there.
sure.
And a shout out to you from Nancy Drolet. Nancy is the founder.
Nancy,
Nancy's tuning in, watching us
Nancy,
on
whoa.
Facebook.
Yeah, Nazi, I go way back from my days in Canada.
Yes.
Nazi, but also at the time represented the Caribbean Tourism Organization, and we worked a lot together on the road in presentations. It's been a minute, Nazi. Hope that you're doing well. It's great to hear from you. Give me a call sometime.
Yes.
My information is on the website. Give me a call
Yes, absolutely. Or Nancy, or just ask me. Also,
for
Nancy
sure.
has this amazing company called One Caribbean, and Barbados is there.
Yes,
So that's wonderful. It's a free service for you to find out all kinds of amazing things. And of course, Barbados is right there. Nancy is just an amazing human and just trying again to help the travel industry really gather with all the Caribbean to make it easier for you
yeah,
to make your clients' Caribbean dreams come true. And what a great place to send your clients to Barbados.
for sure.
So, oh, we
Give me
have,
a call, Nancy, please.
there you go. Jason, come to Nashville with your wife and stay with us. There you go.
Thanks. Thank you.
Nashville's an amazing city. Any future travel from Houston, Texas? I guess you said Texas is still
Yeah, we used
in
to have a flight.
discussion.
Yeah, we used to have a flight on, I think it was American Airlines from Dallas many moons ago. We would love to get that back in service.
I'm
We
sure.
continue to build up business. I was in Dallas last year at one point in time on business as well. I know that there's a community that loves Barbados there too. So working on it, but of course we can't do it without your assistance as well. So as much as you can as well, keep on sharing Barbados and me for sure. Would love to welcome everyone down.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, thanks everyone for joining in. We really appreciate your time. Jason, thank you for sharing this beautiful Caribbean warmth and love from Barbados and helping us dream a little bit more. Everyone's put it uh, up on their bucket list. I know I've seen such great comments in the chat box. So, do you have any further notes before I say once again thank you before we sign off?
Just want to say thank you to everyone for coming on today. I know, obviously we're in the week. You're on the go. It's a lot of things you could be doing with your time, but you took the time out to come and listen to me for an hour, speak about Barbados. It shows that you are, interested in our destination. It shows that you are interested in learning more about what the island has to offer. And if even that is all that comes from you, we want to say thank you because you took the time out to listen. Of course, we hope that this would be the commencement of a fruitful relationship between your respective agencies in Barbados and your clients in Barbados and generate some business. But just the mere fact that you took the time to come today, we are very, very appreciative. So thank you so much. And we look forward to welcoming you all to Barbados.
Wonderful. Thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and we hope to see you on another webinar really soon.